Once again down at the Royal Randwick with Mr. Nic Ashman. How are you, buddy?
I'm very well, how are you?
Yeah, rather well, rather well.
Partially blind?
Yeah, partially blind with the sun, but it's alright.
Yeah.
Unlocked most Saturdays, so we're partially blind.
Yeah, I'm used to this feeling.
Yes, very. Good week for you last week, 3 from 4 with the Trackwork tips.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, I think that's right, yeah.
Yes, something similar. You mentioned King Kinshasa. I thought he was...
Oh yeah, last week we did, didn't we? Yeah.
I thought he ran quite a good race.
He did, and he wasn't ready either. Just looking at him in the yard, he didn't really want to be there. So I'm expecting him to win next start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll win. I think those horses that beat him on Saturday won't beat him next time if they happen.
Even the Great Silver Ball.
I don't think Silver Ball will beat him next time, no.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Who did you first?
Yeah, let's hope so.
So
what have we got this
week?
Gay worked a lot of hers yesterday. Pornichet, Bohemian Lily and so forth, Flamboyant Lass. He's ticking over well, Pornichet.
Yep.
Whether or not he's looking for the 2,000 metres now or you know, maybe next start.
He kind of looked like he was looking for 2,000 first start, but he has come back more dour.
Yeah, and also because he had the residual fitness.
Yeah.
It's sort of the sprints sort of left him pretty quickly this time in. So, not saying he can't win on Saturday, the George Mann Stakes, but just I think I'd rather be in the corner of Kermadec.
Yeah, he looks kind of ready to peak.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and he had that nice tune-up run last start.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that just after that. He was obviously caught wide, but.
Bohemian Lily, how's she ticking along?
Yeah, okay. I think she'll improve on what she showed last start. You'd like to hope so.
You'd like to hope so.
Didn't see her on the Thursday morning before her last start, which for a sort of a staying tight from Gay's joint, resuming normally they'll have a gallop on the Thursday. So. Yeah. I think she can improve a fair bit. Flamboyant Lass, I think she's in the T-Rose, is that right?
Yeah, she's in the T-Rose. Where does she sit into the ways of like her and Speak Fondly? Where are they ability-wise?
Oh, Speak Fondly's a better horse, but I thought Speak Fondly, like I'm a massive fan of obviously of her, but I thought she was, and talking to a couple of boys as well, she was about as light as you'd want to see her on Saturday.
Yeah.
I thought she ran her guts out and hopefully they don't do too much with her between now and the flight stakes.
Yeah.
Because I think she just needs to put a little bit of condition back on and do a bit of work, if that makes any sense.
Makes lots of sense.
Flamboyant Lass, mate. Yeah, I think she's either, like at the start of the carnival, I think we had a chat, not on the camera, but I think I said I had Speak Fondly better than English, definitely. And I think Flamboyant Lass might be better than English, just in the way that they've come back.
Okay.
English might have more natural ability, as you would have seen. Like, she just hasn't taken that next step from a 2-year-old season. So, Sempre Libera,
she's been one I've been very interested in.
Yeah, she's it's a horse that I've got a heap of time for. I actually thought it might be the one out of Gay's 2-year-olds when they went out to come back as the best 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I think that probably belongs to Speak Fondly, but this one is a good horse. It'll go pretty good this prep. So
will she be heading towards the flight stakes, or is she not going to be up?
Look, she might be the 1,000 Guineas horse.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to say Speak Fondly can't because she's such a good filly, but I do feel like
she's got to find some weight. I think just looking at her.
Yeah. I do think maybe her next start might be her last one this prep. So Sempre Libera for me. Might be a horse to have something on. The Offer and Zezeli is a horse that I thought showed huge improvement from its first up run going into that Canterbury run.
Yep.
I was on it big time at Canterbury and still licking the wounds a bit there, Aaron.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Galloped really nicely yesterday morning. Probably goes to the Newcastle Cup on Friday.
Okay, you can see him running a cheeky race there?
I can see it running a real cheeky race, yeah. Just obviously got to make sure that the fence isn't completely off and they're just swooping all day. It's probably not the right...
I hope it is.
Yeah, set up for it. And then you got 2 bites of the cherry for the Waterhouse Stable, of course, because the Offer.
Oh, he's going there as well, is he?
He's going to go to the Newcastle Cup. So I think both horses are in great order. And don't underestimate Zezeli. Definitely improved again since Canterbury. And if it improves again the same amount it's shown at its last 2 starts off Friday's race, it'll be a hope in the Metropolitan. Definitely,
wow,
definitely hope. Ecuador galloped well as well.
He's a good first up runner, so he's a little bit fat first up, but ticking along nicely.
He might have, look, he might have, he's sort of always been good ability-wise, but just hasn't quite done it. He should have been thereabouts. I won't say he hasn't fully lived up to expectations, but he's not far off, you know. And he might have just come back a better, stronger horse and more ready for racing this time in. So don't dismiss his chances in all the big races in the spring.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with his run first
time. I'd start taking him a bit more on face value. Dark Steel.
He's in on Wednesday?
Yeah, he'll resume on Wednesday at Canterbury.
Has he come back? He's one that really looked at good ability.
Yeah, flying. Unfortunately, I was spruiking him pretty big in the autumn when he ran 3rd and 4th, so he owes us a little bit, punters, but I do think he'll deliver tomorrow.
Is he going to deliver first up? I think he's tuned up to win.
Yeah, he does. One horse to keep an eye on that's probably going to start double figures tomorrow is a horse called Talissa.
Yeah, Talissa.
A Manhattan Rain mare now. A lot of these Manhattan Rains, what I'm seeing from them, I know Gay got it to win I think a size produce as a 2-year-old, but a lot of them I'm looking at just sort of looking more like they're slower maturing types, getting over a bit more ground. So I think that particular breed, and I'm not a breeding expert by any stretch of the imagination, will actually start to come in their own once the trainers work them out a bit more. But this one's a bit the same. I know it's first up 1200 tomorrow. Probably going to be short of its best, but it is working better than it has ever before. So I do think, even if it doesn't win tomorrow at Canterbury, definitely keep an eye on it. I think it'll win a race sometime this prep, whether it be 2nd or 3rd up.
Okay, beautiful.
What else we got here? Then this morning, Kira Mosa turned in another gallop. We gave her a bit of a spruik on the show after she galloped 2 weeks ago, leading into the Chelmsford, was it? No, the Tramway.
The Tramway. There's a cracking run down the outside.
Cracking run, $67. You couldn't be too disappointed, other than, of course, we didn't get a collect from it.
Yeah, no.
But I thought she worked really good. Of course, we spruiked as well, Gust to Win, saying how good she was going.
Yeah, she's flying.
A couple of weeks ago. I think anyone who saw, well, last week when we did the show, we spoke about her, and anyone who saw her run on Saturday knows that she's right on target for the Cups.
And both of those horses look to be heading towards a Caulfield Cup after talking to Sarge this morning.
Yeah. So I really think Gusta Win's one of those fillies that has actually made the transition to a 4-year-old season.
Yeah.
I think she can win a Caulfield Cup, maybe Melbourne Cup when those internationals come out. Just got to see how they line up.
She'll be 1 year off, but yeah, no, she certainly.
Yeah.
She's one that really developed a lot faster from 3 to 4, didn't she?
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
Very big, strong.
And that's the key. What else we got here? Look, Ruling Dynasty. He put in a good gallop again this morning. He's a horse. He resumed over the mile for James a couple of weeks ago, and I thought his run was huge.
Yes, well, thank God to him. Value to the exotics.
I think he can win the benchmark race over the mile on Saturday, definitely.
Yeah.
So be keeping an eye on him.
Do you know if there's any bigger, nicer targets for him afterwards?
Yeah, look, he's on a Cups campaign.
Yeah.
If he can get there.
Yeah.
I suspect what will happen is they'll keep him in Sydney until last minute, maybe duck down for Alexis.
Yep.
That type of thing. So we've got that Tattersalls Club Cup here on, is it on Caulfield Cup Day? Or is it might be on Cox Plate Day now, is it?
It's on one of the two, yeah.
Yeah, I think they've moved it. It used to be on Caulfield Cup Day, but I think he'll go to that race and then try and forge his way in the Melbourne Cup that way. But unfortunately, if it is on Cox Plate Day, it means the horse has to back up into Alexis and travel to Melbourne. It's just not a good setup. But anyway, keep an eye on him anyway.
He certainly looks one that's very lightly racing, still just progressing with every run, isn't
he? Yeah, 100%. And he's big, tough, strong horse. So he's the right kind of horse to handle a backup. He's your typical Bart type of stay, if I can say that. In the sense that he's got a great constitution and he'll back up as Bart used to love him to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to the Melbourne Cup. So it'd be a great story if that horse ran in Alexis and won it and qualified.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him starting the Cup.
Had the 10,000 metres in his legs. Other than that, not too much. A little sneaky horse called Dolphin de France for the Sarge. The great man, the Sarge.
Yeah, Sedgeno horse.
12 in the mo for Sarge. Please. He's a beauty, this one. Sedgeno horse. Ran 36 and 11.5 today. I only saw it, I think it debuted out in the country
I
somewhere.
think it was narrow off the top of my head, didn't handle the wet track.
Yeah, just put it down in your black book as a keep an eye out when it gets onto a dry track, because I think it's got a bit better ability than what it's shown so far.
Yeah, he was one that I found myself out of his early trials, tried really nice, and I believe he went to Hawkesbury and trialled on a wet track, and you could just see he was kind of just floundering when asked to extend, and when he went to narrow on the wet track, I think he did the exact same thing.
Yeah, other than that, the rest of them can just not bother to be spoken about today.
Yeah, quiet, very good.
All right.
All right, well, thanks again, Nick, and
Cheers,
we'll see you guys next week.